Well, you probably didn't know that Arkansas is one of the top producers of turkeys in the country. And today we're checking in with a heritage farm right here in Arkansas.
Yeah, Zane Graham with Fall Fire Farm in Hinesville is here, and he brought the stars of Thanksgiving with him. We have a few turkeys here this morning.
Yeah, we have a few questions about these turkeys. So the first thing is, what is it like to manage a farm like this? And tell us a little bit about the turkeys you brought.
These are heritage turkeys. They are different than the turkeys you'll see in the grocery store. These are smaller birds. They take longer to grow. They get to go outside. They get to eat grass. They get to eat bugs. They're not in a long commercial house. Managing turkey farm is just like managing most farms. You've got animals to take care of 365 days a year. And then these are different. With predators, coyotes, owls are bad on turkeys. These have to be put up at night, so we have houses that they go inside and they roost in there and then get let out in the morning, get fed, get watered, and it's, like I said, it's a 365-day-a-year job.
And what makes, Arkansas one of the leaders in this industry? What are people most interested in? Is it the birds? Is it the eggs?
It's, for us, we sell the baby birds, the poults. And we have customers all over the country. We also sell eggs because we can ship eggs all over the country easier than we can baby birds. We do sell a small number of live birds to people who want to process their own birds for Thanksgiving. We have customers come to us year after year and contact us, hey, you got any turkeys this year? And we tell them yes.
And you would think Thanksgiving would be you guys' busiest time of the year, but that's not true.
No, it's spring when we are, gathering eggs and hatching eggs, and we set our cycles on a weekly cycle for hatching out poults. So every week we've got new poults hatched out and to take care of. And it gets a little crazy because you get excited putting things into the incubator and sometimes you forget you have to take them out.
Okay, I see.
So you can overwhelm yourself with baby turkeys.
Okay, which we learned today, poults are baby turkeys.
Yeah, poults are baby turkeys, but they look like they have different personalities. So what's it like raising turkeys? Are they rambunctious? Are they kind of calm?
Well, for the most part, I've always heard turkeys are aggressive and you shouldn't have turkeys free ranging. The aggression's very rare. They are very curious. They are smart. If they're looking at the sky, you can look at the sky and I guarantee you see something up there. They know all about their surroundings.
And
He's running out there.
These guys seem a little more rambunctious. They've been here. They've been very patient.
Yes.
They have. But these guys are experienced with going places.
Yes. We go to poultry shows. This guy has been to Ohio Nationals. They had 700 turkeys that year for show. That was the largest one in recent history.
Well, they are amazing, so well behaved. Thank you so much for bringing them
You
here
are
today.
welcome.
And thank you for talking to us about production in Arkansas and
Yes.
what that looks like. We sure appreciate it. Thanksgiving right around the corner, so of course we had to bring the stars, right?
Of course we did. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there.
Thanks for joining us. Well, Thanksgiving right around the corner, and if you're preparing to host, you're probably thinking about and fixing that grocery list, adding to it every minute.
Yeah, this year economists say that there's a mix of good and bad news when it comes to cost. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley is here to break it all down. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Tiffany and Joe. Well, the good news is economists say you shouldn't see a spike in Thanksgiving prices at the grocery store compared to last year. But even then, many families are still paying significantly more than they did just a few years ago. According to the American Farm Bureau Federation, the average cost of a Thanksgiving dinner for 10 this year is about $58, a few dollars down from last year when it was about $61. But the prices we're seeing this year are still up 19% from what they were in 2019, showing the impact inflation has had on food prices and costs for farmers since the pandemic. James Mitchell, assistant professor of agricultural economics and agribusiness at the U of A, tells me while overall your Thanksgiving meal may be a few dollars cheaper than last year, the item on your grocery list he thinks will bring the most sticker shock is eggs. He says that's because bird flu has hit the industry hard this year, and eggs are seeing a price impact that things like turkey are not.
Eggs are a perishable product, right? You can't freeze eggs and store them for later, which is important to distinguish from turkey, right? Where the turkey industry knows that Thanksgiving is going to happen every year. They know that we're going to be consuming large amounts of frozen or fresh whole turkey. in November, they can kind of store production throughout the year in anticipation for that holiday. Whereas on the egg side, those eggs are cartoned and those eggs are consumed.
He says another reason prices have stayed a little lower for turkey this year is the availability of substitutes like ham or other main dish options, while eggs are harder to replace. Overall, the trends show we're seeing slow improvements in the cost of Thanksgiving each year, but still feeling the effects of high inflation. Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
As we get closer to Thanksgiving Thursday, most of you are already buying and getting that food ready for the big day.
5 News reporter Rachel Williams shares advice on how to deep fry a turkey safely.
Deep frying a turkey can be delicious, but it can be dangerous if not done correctly. The Springdale Fire Department says there are important things to remember before dropping the bird into the hot oil. It's that time again, time for our favorite holiday dishes and gathering around the dinner table. Here in the South, deep frying a turkey is a popular tradition, but it comes with a lot of risk. With Thanksgiving a few days away, the Springdale Fire Department says there is something you should do now.
One thing you need to do, you need to be getting that turkey out now. If you're going to be taking care of it on Thursday, you need to let the thing completely thaw out.
Captain Pinkley says the next thing is don't put too much oil in the fryer. Follow the fryer's recommendations up to the fill line.
Putting it into the oil, overfilling the oil, tipping it over. There's a lot of things that can happen. Even as far as you don't put the oil into the pot before you light it, you can, that aluminum pot, you can burn a hole into that pot. Now you've got oil dripping onto an open flames.
There isn't a set distance on where to deep fry the turkey, but Captain Pinkley says at least 10 feet away from your home is a safe option, and it's best to have a fire extinguisher nearby.
It's better to have it, not need it, than it's to need it, not have it. You have something go wrong with it, and then now you're trying to go find the extinguisher. Where did you put it? Where is it at? I mean, you need to make sure that you have all combustibles away. You make sure that you don't have kids, you don't have pets. You know, get off by yourself. Don't do it in the garage. Don't do it in the house. Don't do it next to the house. Get out in the middle of the yard. Make sure there's nothing around to cook that turkey.
Now, what happens if you don't follow these fire safety tips?
You have open flame, and you have big fireball. If you have combustibles around, it can be very bad.
When you're cooking the turkey, it should take about 45 minutes, and you need a certain tool to make sure it's done properly.
Use that thermometer, make sure it's staying in that 350-degree range and not getting any hotter than it should. But easing the turkey into it, it's like I said, it's a slow, methodical process.
And finally, after you're done cooking, be sure to keep that area free from kids or pets. The oil still needs to cool down, and that could take a couple of hours. Rachel Williams, 5 News.
It's that time of year again when we celebrate things, turkey. It's also a time when we look back on one of the most bizarre traditions in Arkansas. And tonight, we've opened up, this is fun, we've opened up a 5 News Vault story and take you to a 1983 Yellville Turkey Drop.
There's been a lot of controversy and a lot of misunderstanding about the annual turkey drop in Yellville. We thought we'd show you what it really looks like. First, a small plane flies near the Yellville Square, and one turkey is thrown out. The turkey is alive, wild, and he flies.
2 years ago that the Humane Society came in and created quite a stir, and of course the FAA had to come up and investigate, and they do have rules about planes flying certain heights, and we are trying to stay within those rules and guidelines. Because we felt like the Humane Society had not been here and had not seen what actually happened, so they were not knowledgeable in what they were complaining about.
After the drop comes the chase. The turkey drop is especially popular with the young folks in Yellville, but they're not always the ones who catch the turkeys.
He just landed right, real easy, right out here in the middle of the field, and we all ran over here, and I was lucky enough to get him out here in front of this lady's house.
The turkey drop is just one part of Yellville's annual turkey trot, an event that started back in the 1940s when wild turkeys were nearly extinct in Arkansas. For most people, the biggest event is the National Wild Turkey Calling Contest. The competition doesn't start until tomorrow, but Joe Baxter of Pine Bluff was willing to demonstrate the fine art of turkey calling today.
It's just a second gobbler.
At the 38th Annual Turkey Trot in Yellville, this is Steve Voorhees reporting for the News People.
All right, for all you longtime Channel 5 watchers, of course, everybody remembers Voorhees. Did you see all them clothes? Yeah. And the hats and the hairstyles? I can't quit laughing. 2017, by the way, was the final year for the Yellville Turkey Drop. Live turkeys are no longer dropped out of those airplanes, but the annual Yellville Turkey Trot continues. The small Marion County town held its 76th annual event just last month. You can see more from the 5 News Vault over on our YouTube channel.